According to reports out there, Fantastic Four crashes and opens lower than expectations of the media who was running cover for this thing as it loses to Superman by James Gunn. Now, Fantastic Four opened weaker than expected, dropping faster than any recent Marvel release, and it's already trailing behind Superman. Now, James Gunn didn't really need the same level of media hype to make Superman land stronger with the audiences, although he probably should have chose his words a bit more carefully instead of calling him an immigrant. Now, Fantastic Four was supposed to lead the next phase, but James Gunn's Superman now looks more stable, apparently. Now, the push to frame Fantastic Four as a big hit isn't lining up with the numbers, and even with the media spin can't hide how quickly this is falling off. I mean, you all can look at the numbers here right now and can see that happening, okay? Now, the legacy media spent weeks actually pretending Fantastic Four was going to outpace Superman, okay? They said that it would crush it at the box office, called it triumphant return, and hyped up Sue Storm like she was the second coming of Iron Man, basically. But here we are, and Fantastic Four is not only down from Friday to Saturday, but it's the worst second day drop compared to every other recent superhero film. Bigger than Superman, bigger than Deadpool and Wolverine, bigger than Captain America, Brave New World. Even Thunderbolts had a smaller fall, and that's how bad things are at this point. You see, this actually wasn't supposed to happen. This was supposed to be bulletproof, according to Kevin Feige and other people at Marvel. And make no mistake, this fall is not about, the audience taste changing mid-weekend, okay? It's actually about a broken brand. Fantastic Four isn't even leading the charge right now. It's just falling flat on its face. And that scares Disney Marvel right now. You see, they know Avengers Doomsday hinges on this cast. Pedro Pascal is supposed to be the face of it all. They brought back Robert Downey Jr., they brought in big names as well. They wanted to go ahead and make this a $1 billion moment, but the audience didn't show up for Fantastic Four the way they expected. And now James Gunn and Superman are looking like real winners right now of the summer box office. Now, opening projections for Fantastic Four were optimistic, around $125 million to $130 million domestic. Some insiders were even saying $140 million. That was the bar. And then reality kicked in. Thursday previews edged out Superman by technicality. Now, Superman had an extra preview day, so comparing them is not really honest. You see, Friday numbers came in and it looked stable, but Saturday delivered the blow, a 42% plunge that actually shook the hype to the ground. For context, Superman had a 33% drop. Deadpool and Wolverine saw a 36% drop. Fantastic Four collapsed harder than ever, and the media can't even spin that away. Okay, so the headlines tried their best. The mainstream media tried their best. Men's Journal, Deadline, and Variety all tried to pretend Fantastic Four had already beaten Superman. They manipulated the wording as usual, comparing international only numbers and pretending global mean domestics. Okay, so the problem is Superman's global debut was over $220 million. Fantastic Four clocked in at $218 million. I mean, you can't call that a win, and yet they're still running with the headline, still pushing the idea that Fantastic Four is somehow a major success. Meanwhile, James Gunn and his Superman reboot actually held its ground better than the entire Fantastic Four campaign itself. Okay, now they're cherry picking the data to go ahead and give the illusion of momentum. One outlet pointed out that international numbers for Fantastic Four were 13% ahead of Thunderbolts and 11% ahead of Superman. But that's just international. Once you actually factor in domestic, well, Fantastic Four still trails Superman. But the media doesn't want to admit that. You see, they don't want to say James Gunn outperformed Disney Marvel. They're trying to protect Pedro Pascal. No surprise there. Protect the Fantastic Four launch and protect the fragile narrative that Disney Marvel can still dominate the superhero genre. I mean, it's all about saving face at this point. You see, Variety shifted its tone overnight. One day they said Fantastic Four might edge out Superman with $125 million domestic debut. The next day, when that didn't happen, well, they lowered the bar to $100 million to $110 million and claimed Fantastic Four exceeded expectations. I mean, that right there is manipulation instead of honesty. You see, they're adjusting the expectations after the fact just to paint a better picture. And when you dig into the numbers, I mean, it's actually clear the media is more interested in covering for Disney Marvel than reporting the truth. Okay, so basically Deadline had to soften the blow, saying the Fantastic Four debut was still super despite, coming in light at $118 million. They told their readers to go pound sand if they predicted a front loaded collapse. That's Deadline right there. The mainstream media outlet insulting the audience for being right. You see, James Gunn didn't need this kind of spin. Now, Superman opened, um, made its numbers and kept a respectable drop, but Fantastic Four needed the entire media apparatus to hold it up. And even that couldn't just keep it afloat past one day. But I mean, this is just what Panda looks like. Disney Marvel bet big on Fantastic Four. They marketed it like the next Avengers. They had Pedro Pascal front and center. They had Sue Storm marketed as the new face of Marvel. And they said that this would be a tone setter for Avengers Doomsday. And now all those plans are up in smoke. Now, if Fantastic Four falls hard on the second weekend, and right now it looks like it will, well, Marvel has a massive credibility problem heading into its next phase. And meanwhile, James Gunn has quietly built momentum for Superman, okay? And honestly, his movie didn't need, well, actually, they did use lies to push ticket sales. Now, look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not a defender of James Gunn one bit. Okay, I didn't like Superman 2025. My wife and I saw it together. I waited a long time. We waited a long time, and both of us didn't really like it. Okay, my wife is still trying to figure out what was the purpose of having Superman to save a squirrel while a big giant monster is in a city destroying everything. Okay, and but at the same time, they did make more money on this, even though it's a technicality and stuff. Okay, but here's the crazy part though. Disney Marvel needed Fantastic Four to be massive because Avengers Doomsday is on the edge of a financial cliff. Okay, so that movie actually needs to make over 1.5 billion just to break even. Even if the Fantastic Four cast just can't even bring in a solid second weekend, I mean, what does that say about the audience interest and stuff in the next Avengers? Now, it says people are walking away, they're not hyped, they're not showing up, and Pedro Pascal is not carrying this franchise the way they thought they would. Okay. Now, Anthony D'Alessandro at Deadline tried to downplay the panic by pointing out that any, movie opening over $100 million is technically a success. But this is not just any movie. You see, this is the Fantastic Four. This is Marvel's flagship reboot, and this is their replacement of the old Avengers. Now, the old Avengers lineup, that is, it's not supposed to just hit $100 million. It's supposed to dominate. You see, James Gunn understood that with Superman. You see, he knew expectations would be high, and I mean, yeah, he did oversell it, but Disney Marvel oversold Fantastic Four and they got burned for it. Then again, James Gunn kind of got burned for it too. Now, the excuses are laughable. You see, the author's analysis is that fewer families went to see Fantastic Four than Superman. That's it. That's the expert breakdown. Families, as if that tells us anything useful. Now, what he's trying to avoid saying is that people simply weren't interested. The brand is weak, the buzz is artificial, and the media campaign simply just can't cover that up once real people bought tickets. Okay. So James Gunn didn't have that problem. Superman didn't get carried, well, it actually got carried by media hype, but it got carried away with actual interest and stuff with some people. Now, they tried everything: influencer posts, Rotten Tomatoes manipulations, fake Twitter praise, as usual, from burner accounts tied to PR firms. They pushed Stu Storm as the lead. They downplayed Reed Richards. They leaned into Pedro Pascal as the internet's daddy. They went all in on Hollywood's current obsessions and thought that would be enough. It wasn't, and it's not working anymore. You see, Fantastic Four didn't connect, and now they have to go ahead and watch Superman, a simpler, cleaner, a different superhero film from James Gunn, actually go ahead and gain grounds that they thought they had locked down. And I'll be honest with you, um, another reason why it's possible that Fantastic Four didn't beat Superman because a number of people out there who were Marvel fans and stuff simply gave up on Marvel and stopped trusting them. That's my speculation right there. Okay. But I mean, this isn't just about one weekend, it's about the future of the superhero genre itself. Marvel wanted Fantastic Four to save its brand. They wanted it to stabilize a phase that's been nothing but misfires with the Marvels, Eternals, Echo, even though that's on Disney Plus, and even Thunderbolts. But now it's just another underperformer with a bloated budget and a media narrative that's actually falling apart in real time. Now, James Gunn didn't need to win the weekend to win the war. You see, he made Superman, well, and that's more than what Disney can say for Fantastic Four right now. Somehow, to some people, he made Superman matter again to those who hated the Superman in the past. So Fantastic Four is on track to be the third major flop in 1 year for Marvel. The break even number is somewhere around $700 million, and it's not looking likely that's going to reach that. This was supposed to reset the brand itself, and instead it's exposing how far it's fallen. Now, I'm pretty sure the Superman is also probably in the same boat and stuff, but James Gunn, with all the pressure in the world, I mean, gave a Superman movie that beat a lot of people's expectations, but not mine though. Now, Disney Marvel, with every advantage, couldn't get Fantastic Four to go ahead and hold past 48 hours. That's the reality right there. And the panic is actually just beginning. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash that like button, share the video far wide across social media. Go ahead and join the Discord server, and link is below in the description. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for future uploads notifications, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.